All right, cool. Welcome back. Move my mic here. Have some nice ASMR at the beginning here. Tell me if this is excruciating. I find out myself. All right, so yeah, I'm cruising ye old Reddit today. My computer is doing this. I thought I closed this. No, okay, whatever. Excuse me. Irritating. Okay, yeah, so I do have Reddit pulled up here. I was kind of just, yeah, like I said earlier, I found um, a subreddit that I kind of wanted to explore, but then I just came to Reddit and opened up this one story, and it was from the AITAH, am I the A word um, subreddit? And I don't know, it's tragic. I don't even know, should I share it? But I was just like stunned and I read it, so y'all are gonna have to see it too. I need to process this with other people. It's horrible. It is horrible what I've just read. Okay, so yeah, let me pull this up here. Is this a rerun? Rerun? Is this a rerun? What are you? This is fresh content, Tomas. Fresh content tonight. We are looking at Reddit. There's a tornado, Seth. Oh my God. Oh my God. Of course there is. You're living out in the middle of nowhere. Tomas is waiting on Tar Baby, Yoda, and Original King Alpha to join the chat. I mean, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Ugh, Seth, yeah, I hope everything is okay. It's going to be okay. You'll get through it. Tornadoes are quite fascinating, aren't they? Well, I'm glad that I could go live to calm you down. Yeah, the nice sound of my sweet voice hopefully will, make you feel somewhat safe. Okay, yeah. Okay, this story is horrible. This is horrible. Just trigger warning immediately. Like, I haven't even finished reading it, but so far what I've read is just appalling. Like, okay. So, AITAH for leaving after my girlfriend gave birth to our disabled child. I grew up in a home with a disabled brother. All of my parents' money and attention went to him. They pretty much forgot that I existed. All of our family activities were predicated on my brother's ability to participate. I did not qualify for financial aid. I was not a great student, and honestly, attending college would have been a waste of money. Instead, my grandfather helped me get a job on the oil rigs. It is hard, dirty, lonely work. Man, this guy just is like feeling sorry for himself, isn't he? Like, it is hard, dirty, lonely work. Yes, it is. Work is like that, work is tough. I mean, it is. This work is tough. It is hard on the body, but it pays very well. I started as a floor hand apprentice. It is basically the lowest of the low. Okay. I did not cut off my family, but I did not go out of my way to stay in contact. I was working in another state, and they did not have time for me anyway. I got a call about 10 years later. My little brother had passed away. I went to the funeral, and my folks looked about 25 years older. It was good to see them, but I left pretty quickly afterwards. It is hard to explain, but I never really got attached to them since they had ignored me since I was 5. I was never abused or anything, I was just sort of a second thought. I mean, how common is it for older siblings to have these kind of resentments towards their younger siblings in normal situations? That kind of just came to my mind. Like, this man's experience, like, I don't know, just from what he's like, how he's kind of setting himself up here, to justify his behavior is interesting. When my girlfriend got pregnant, I love how he capitalized my girlfriend. That's interesting. When my girlfriend got pregnant, I was happy. We had been together for 3 years and I was happy with her. I hope I was making her happy. Nope. We talked about it and we decided to get all the tests so that we could know if we were going to have a healthy baby. Before the first test, we agreed that if we were not having a healthy baby, then we were not having a baby. I know it is a horrible thing to contemplate, but I had been through that life for 13 years and I was free of it with no interest in going back. I mean, my God. One of the tests came back positive for one of the conditions that we had decided we would not want in a child. Please understand that I am not in any way saying that people with disabilities should not be born, only that I knew I would not want to be around for that. We had a second, third, and even fourth opinion. I spent a lot of my savings on tests that insurance would not cover in full. It was not a great time. Then my girlfriend said that she changed her mind, that she could not terminate. I argued with her for days, weeks, until it was too late. Too late for what? He wanted her to have an abortion and she didn't want to have one. I told her that I would not choose to be around to help with the child. I mean, how awful. Like, how awful. Like, how awful. Like, how cold-blooded are you? I was happy with her. I hope that she was happy with me. I mean, you're a sociopath. I don't know what else to say. Like, what? Okay. I would not choose to be around to help with the child, that I would pay child support, but that was it. Our relationship was on cruise control from then until the baby was born. I made sure she got home safe from the hospital, and then I went to work, and I never went back. I paid the child support that I was ordered to pay by court. I did not fight it or dodge it, but I have not seen her or the child since the hospital. I mean, I'm reading this and I'm like, this poor woman, like, and this child, like, and just imagine like being a woman and going through that, like getting pregnant, realizing that there's like a life inside of you and you don't want to kill it. And the guy you're with, who you've been with for 3 years, you've poured 3 years of your life into, just is like this cold to you. I mean, it's just, like, my God, this poor woman. And then she gives birth and she's just on her own. Like, and that time after you give birth, you're so fragile. Like, oh my God, this poor woman. I'm amazed. I'm amazed that he even is like asking, like, how can he just like put this out here? And it's like, is this even real? It's like something from a novel. Like, it's that evil. I don't know. And then this is amazing. Amazing. I got married 3 years later. We are expecting our first child, and I heard from my ex. Okay, so he was with that woman for 3 years. She got pregnant. He didn't marry her. He ditched her and her baby and, like, basically provided a financial stipend, according to him. Who knows if that's true? Okay, because I just, who knows if that's even true? Because guys lie about that stuff. I've seen it multiple times where they'll be claiming to be paying child support and they're not. I mean, maybe he is, and he has the kind of, he seems to, behave in the way. I mean, I don't know. He behaves in like a sociopath. So, like, they'll do what they need to do if they have to do it. But anyway, I'm just like, I'm shocked at this, like, reading this. And so I'm like, pull into Reddit. Like, I'm going to look up this. I think it was Am I Overreacting was the one I wanted to check out. But this comes up, and I'm like, stunned. Okay. Let me continue reading and stop giving my opinion, okay? We can save that for the end. Okay. We are expecting our first child, and I heard from my ex. The child had passed away. She wanted me to come to the funeral. I said no. I knew it was coming. It was still a gut punch. My parents are upset with me for how I handled things. They went to the funeral. Oh, God. I bet they are. I bet they really are. I bet they're, like, amazed. I bet they're ashamed, honestly. Like, but whatever. I mean, wouldn't you be if this was your kid? Like, and he behaved this way, When he had a brother that was disabled, like, okay, so they went to the funeral. Well, that was, of course they would. Why wouldn't they? I told them that I did not want the life they had lived while my brother was alive, and that my ex had tried to force me into it after agreeing not to. You were having sex with her unprotected. Like, come on. Unreal. I feel like maybe this is judgmental. Am I being judgmental? Let me know. Let me know. But I'm just, like, shocked at this. They said that they were disappointed that they had not raised me right. I got angry and said that they had not raised me at all. Oh, God. I asked them to show me anything they had from my childhood that showed they had taken the slightest interest in me. They said that wasn't fair because they had to care for my brother. I just said that was my point and hung up. Okay, so he had this conversation with them over the phone, obviously. I feel like S-word about the whole thing, but my ex knew how I felt and why. To this day, I do not understand why she changed her mind. Because there was a life inside of her? Hello? Because she's a human being? Because she has feelings? I don't know. Like, what the heck? My wife and I talked about getting married and made the same decision. And thank God we did not have to make it. I mean, his wife is pregnant. It says they're expecting. So he has no idea what's going on with his child currently. Like, I'll just put that out there. They've run some tests, but, what if something happens after it's born? A disability can happen at any point in life. Her mom and dad talked to us about it, and they told us that what we had to do what was best for us. I had told them everything about my past that was relevant to my relationship with their daughter. Sorry for rambling, but I guess I'm just trying to put all my thoughts down while I have the courage to ask, am I the a-hole? What do you all think? What do you all think? Okay, I need to come up for air. I'm like a seal under the water. That was hard. Ugh. I am like, that was hard. Yeah, that was emotional. Like, I get, I read these things and my feelings get, pushed around. I'm like, I'm okay. Like, it's past, but what a sad story. Like, what a sad story. And like, how can he even like ask? To me, he's like totally cold blooded. Like, and I hope to God that his current child is okay, but like, or his expecting child, the expectant child, until that child is born, things could happen. Like, life is fragile and precious, and he's asking like, I don't understand why she changed her mind. Like, yes, that's a good point, Tomas. I mean, that's definitely the root of it. Is he putting together the fact though he hasn't figured out like he understands how he's gotten the perspective that he has and why he, is this way, but he hasn't figured out that it's evil. I think that's the thing. Like, he's like, oh yeah, like this is a lot of people. This is a lot of us, walking around in the world. Like, we'll know ourselves. We'll know exactly why we're all messed up, but we'll never actually admit to ourselves that, the way we're messed up is evil. And it's the devil working through us. CJ says, yo, that story is crazy. Okay, let me scroll through the comments because y'all been talking. Catch up with the comments. Also, what a title. You like my title. Just cruising. Yeah, we're just cruising along through Reddit. We'll see what we find. Whereas dystopian Tomas agrees that I'm being a little judgmental in I think, yeah, I have to be careful about that. But in the moment, I'm in my emotions. I'm like reading it and I'm like, you horrible man, how could you behave in such a way? Like, what's wrong with you? This woman, like, God, and this baby and this like life, like, and his parents, like, they're even like, we're kind of disappointed. Like, they're like, you didn't raise me at all. Like, forgive your mom already, dude. Come on. This is with people. Like, and you ask them, have you forgiven your mother? And it's like, have you forgiven your mother and father? Like, have you actually gone and, let that stuff go and stop, using it as a crutch? You know how they say there are common time frames for breakups, like 3 to 6 months when there's nothing much there, but a temporary flame is 3 years, another one. Mine were that way, and so is this. I mean, I think, yeah, I see that a lot. There's different I think different things happen at different time frames, different anniversaries, if you will. But I mean, it's just amazing to me. And this is the thing, just as for women listening and reading this is why you don't let a man waste your time. Okay. Like, don't get sucked into these quote unquote relationships that are nothing. Married. within a decent time frame, he doesn't want to marry you. Like, don't start being a wife when you're not married. I just see so many women get into this, and like this woman here was doing that. They were no doubt shacked up, fornicating, you know, and after 3 years of this, she finally gets pregnant. And what does she have to show for any of it? She was just dumped. She was just dumped after giving birth, like just completely dropped after 3 years of investing in him. Like, don't do this. Women, don't do this. Don't do this to yourself. It's not good for you to do this. Okay, so Tomas has some more insight about this guy. Reading you've done of him, as you can imagine, he was a side character in the entire thing, while he never was able to achieve the childhood that he wanted. But he can't move on from it because he is trapped there, because he has a resentment towards it, which is why God was like, oh, hey, look at your child. Interesting. I mean, yeah, people curse themselves too. BRB playing chess. Oh, Tomas. He's playing chess, not checkers. People often enact vengeance against their parents on what they consider easier, softer targets. This guy is doing that, but effing up 2 other people's lives to do so. Indeed. I know. I hope, his child is okay. Right. I was wondering that. I sometimes wonder, like, I read these things and it's like, this is just almost too perfectly bad. But then, like, people's lives are a lot more interesting than movies sometimes. People get ourselves into interesting dynamics. So, yeah, I don't know. Here comes the feminist. What is feminist about what I said? Probably a lot of things. Women need to take better care of themselves and value themselves more. If they did, they wouldn't be getting into these scenarios where they, aren't loved, aren't cherished, aren't respected. Like, yeah, I want that for women. I'm about that for women. Like, if that's feminism, okay. You can call it what you like. Oh, wow. I almost want to sing that out in the style. What is that song? I can't remember the group that does that, the thing that you just parodied. Let me know. Who is it? It's like some new metal stuff from my youth. Of course, she's to blame. But, like, is she aware? And is she aware that it's evil? Wake up, Terry. It's not called feminism. I will wake you up, I promise. Ah, thanks. Okay, let's move on. Let's find something else on Reddit. Okay, let's look at popular. Let's look at the popular feed. Okay, so we're cruising now. We're moving on from that horrible story. We've opened tonight with a very shocking and disturbing story, which has just tugged at our heartstrings, but we're moving on now. We're going to find something else. Some ad for something. Male living space. Ooh. Yeah, I don't. That's an interesting. Please don't use out of date slang. Gen Z woman demands millennials stop saying these out of date slang words. If you use these, you're officially old. I think I'm going to skip that. Not into the generational hate today. Interesting as F. Steven Seagal at Vladimir Putin's inauguration. Okay, right on. Steven Seagal. My dad hated him. I never really understood why. I think he was violent or something. I think that was it. Something to do with.
I don't know.
Why does it just play videos? Mildly infuriating. Mildly infuriating. The company I work for is making us come back into the office with the stated purpose of work together, but I'm the only person here. Even my boss works in another state. It's tragic what has happened, but I'm glad I don't have to work in an office. It's too much for me to handle. It is. It's too much. I mean, I imagine working in an office like people used to at this point, and I just can't mentally do it. I can't do it. It's too much on top of everything else I have to do. Like, come on. Okay. So yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry, but I hope it's a good experience. Like, I do find like getting out of your comfort zone sometimes can be good. And like, if your employer is reasonable, like they're gonna not keep you there forever. Okay. I hate how it's just, excuse me, I do not like how it just automatically plays video. I don't like that. Okay, what a boring stuff. Politics. Do we dare go into the politics subreddit? I'm mildly curious, but I feel it's like one I might want to back out of quickly, but let's do it. Let's go in it. Okay. Just catching up with the chat. Sorry. I know it's so right. I concur. Okay. New York criminal fraud trial of Trump, day 13. This stuff is so dull to me. Okay. Like, I don't want to read a discussion of that. Like, honestly, it's all such nonsense. Here, and so much of it is about this. Wow, okay. Trump this, Trump this, Trump this. You remind me of my daughter. Stormy Daniels testifies that Trump compared her to Ivanka. Yeah, Trump has made some weird, gross statements about his daughter. Okay, like, yep, but also, like, why are we hearing from this person in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I don't know. Ugh. Yeah, so much about Trump. More Trump. Okay, something about Benjamin Netanyahu is America's worst ally from the Daily Beast. I don't know. I'm just more about Stormy Daniels, like more about Stormy Daniels, an ad, more about Trump. I've seen multiples of these. He's headlining a GOP event in Minnesota on the same day as Barron's Florida graduation. Okay. Okay. What does that even mean? Like, is he doing both or is he missing one? Is that like, why don't we just say what you're trying to say? Like, and also, I don't know, like, I think Baron's going to be okay. You know, it might not be, maybe it's not what Baron wants. Maybe his dad is kind of a polarizing figure. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe it'd be, you know, not maybe the best or easiest thing. You know, it's not like he's a normal person that can just attend things. Um, yeah, okay. The politics subreddit sucks. Sucks. Mm. Ugh. More about Trump. It was something about, ugh. A lot of people are really foul. Like, just looking through this, I'm kind of shocked that people are so foul sometimes. Like,
Absolutely beautiful yellow rat snake. Probably a new county for me, I'd have to imagine. Although they
oh my
look very similar to the
goodness.
ones we get in Gainesville. And he's just going ham on my knuckle there.
How cute. What a cute little snake. Oh my goodness. I do find them cute sometimes. I do. Some of them can be very frightening as well, but the ones that are, you know, more docile, obviously, are nice. Okay. Kendrick Lamar. Boomers being fools. Boomers being fools. What a nice title of the subreddit. I'm kind of curious. Okay. Okay. This looks interesting. This looks interesting. Tomas. Baron might be taller than me now. I think that they said he's like 6'8". Don't, oh, not Sasha Grey. Stephanie A. Gregory Clifford. Or Stephanie, yeah. That's a very interesting name. That's a lot of names. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, it would be more respectful if they did use her name, but like, you know, that's the thing about it. It's like she's, you know, an aging sex worker. Okay. Like, getting her name at and the press out like this is, you know, it generates interest, you know, in her work. So, and then she's also getting paid for a lot of her speaking engagements, things she's doing. Like, she's milking it. She's milking it, and it's kind of obvious, and it's just kind of like watching it. It's just also trashy and just like, come on, I don't want to know this about him. Like, I'm not interested, I guess. And I really just dislike these kind of fixations on the affairs and sex lives of people. You know, it's not, it's to a certain degree, like it can be, what, if somebody does something they really shouldn't have done, like, yeah, um, that's something that should be handled and dealt with appropriately. But when it comes to like consensual sexual relations between men and women, whether they're problematic or not, like I just don't see why it's my business or anybody else's. So I just find this kind of stuff just ugh. People are so into business that isn't theirs. Like, mind your own. This is not our business. Why is this our business? Like, ugh, don't we have more important things to be focused on? It's a source of shame, Terry. If it weren't, it would not be used. I mean, yeah, I know. I know. This Puritan culture that we're in. Again, this is, I talked about purity culture when we were perusing the Christian subreddit, and here it comes up again. Like, the purity culture stems from like Puritanism, which again puts the purity of the flesh as very central to purity. And I do think that there is a delicate balance with that, but humans are fallible and fall short oftentimes in their lives. And it's just, it's really disturbing to fixate and punish people for, being human. If it were Holland, no one would care. I know you Europeans are so sophisticated about these things, aren't you? Like, everyone loves the Italian president's mistress, or I'm being very ignorant. I don't even know who the Italian prime minister or is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know anything about their system. So I'm going to stop talking about it because, again, I'm being ignorant. But I have noticed that it does seem to be a very American cultural thing here. It's similar, though, in some other nations as well. Some nations have, more kind of strict morality. But yeah, in the US, it does take on a very kind of, it's all screwed up because it's everywhere in our face. But people are still so like puritanical about it. Like, well, I think I've been through my opinions about this. Like, it's not my business. I think it's really just, it's about shaming and demeaning people for, things that really aren't our business and really are detrimental to focus on with human beings, in my opinion. Oh my goodness, Tomas. We have a peeping Tom. Tomas, look at it in the neighbor's windows in Holland. Watch out, Tom might be in the window. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't know that that's true, though, because I remember people being very shallow. Not all, but most. I think it just was different in the ways in which they were shallow, or the media they were fixated on. Like, do you remember like tabloids and things like that? People used to buy those en masse and read them like magazines and talk about it. And I think we were kids. Yeah, we were kids at that time. So like, I don't know. It wasn't. We didn't have the same kind of adult. We didn't have an adult perspective. Maybe, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I feel like I did. Tomas is defending his honor, saying it is not a me thing. It is a commonplace thing. You can look it up. Okay. I'll be looking at my neighbors when When I go stay in Holland, I'll be looking out my window like, who can I catch naked? I mean, it's it's normal. Yeah. Okay. I mean, different cultures have different levels of shame around their bodies as well, and I think it's big in America as well. So yeah, being naked here is a little bit more taboo. But anyway, let's move on. Thank you for sharing your culture with us. I just love that. Okay. Oh, climbing trees was fun, wasn't it? It was fun. Okay, so yeah, this is an interesting title, and reminding you all, we are in the Boomers Being Fools subreddit, which sounds, very balanced and fair. Yeah, so this title, I think they're just fundamentally broken and or defective human beings. I am a farmer and outdoorsman. I was doing some projects through church to help the local community. I'm not a terribly religious person, but I like the wide array of volunteer opportunities and access to beautiful parts of the state that I wouldn't otherwise see. I hooked up with this one boomer through church. The deal was I'd help her clean up her property and secure her fencing, help with signage, and etc. in exchange for foraging rights to her mushrooms and berries. But when my work was done and the berries and mushrooms grew, I wasn't allowed to harvest them. She read on Facebook that harvesting them can hurt them and stop them from coming back. I have 20 experience in my field, but she didn't believe me that this wasn't true. You said you see some famous experts said it would kill them. So I said, okay, then can I hammer some dowels into these spare logs and grow some? She said, sure. So I put in endless hours drilling, hammering, and burying logs and setting them up across the property. Well, she ended up taking all of the logs and burning them because plans changed, because that's what happens on a farm. Wow. Oh, so this lady just is not paying you back for the work you did for her. I was out a year's of work and money for materials. She said there was a wildfire risk. Okay, understandable. So I buried some sawdust blocks on her property and set up some stumps. So the mushrooms would eat her stumps and she wouldn't have to pay for removal. We've had a cold spring, so none of them worked. It is finally warming up and they are about to be ready. Now she has some outlandish concern about rats and wants to burn them. Okay, so what the F? I'm allowed to harvest these mushrooms, but when they grow, I'm not allowed to for one fake reason or another. When I can farm everything as well, but when they're about to be ready, it's time to burn them. I've wasted 2 years of my life and all this money now. I'm done, just completely done. I'm not doing any more volunteer work there. Some of my tools are there, but I can just buy new ones. I don't even want to see her. I see now why her family doesn't talk to her and why her husband left. I'm pretty sure she just likes to hurt people. I'm left with the impression every time she's destroyed my work, she seemed to enjoy herself, that she got sick and twisted enjoyment from it. She might. I mean, there are people like that. I'm older now and don't have time for this S word. I want no contact with my parents over stuff like this. I'm not wasting any more of my life on people like this. I'm so disgusted with her and disgusted with myself for hanging in there thinking she was maybe an all right person. They're not. They won't ever change. They will always be horrible people, and life is infinitely better without boomers in it. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. They are broken and cannot be fixed, so do not even waste your time. Wow. Wow. Coming up for air again. That was another harsh one. Harsh. That was harsh. Wasn't that harsh? I mean, she sounds like a narcissist though, like that he's dealing with. But like that, it sounds like him. I mean, he kept playing games with her. He kept playing games with her. You can't play games with people like this. Like the first time they don't do what you arranged, you got to learn to recognize that. Like, if somebody doesn't pay you back in the way that you ask them, I don't know. Interesting discussion of Dutch and American culture contrasting between the two. Americans are very, yeah, they are very like, I don't know. I mean, but it is, it is a different dynamic. I mean, very different dynamics at play in both countries, Yeah. I think Americans are more private generally, especially like in community. That, I mean, but what do I really know? But I do think that is something interesting about our culture. And I do find it interesting when people point out these things and you kind of think about them. I remember like watching a documentary. I don't know, it might have been like a Michael Moore documentary. Don't quote me, but there was this. Maybe it was the one Bowling for Columbine where they went into like they just walked up to Canadian people's houses and like opened the door and like walked in, or they were just showing like how Americans, keep their doors locked when, regardless, they always lock their door, but like Canadians don't. So, which, but it was interesting seeing kind of that difference in the culture, and you wonder about like, well, what other things are, different. Mm, hmm. Yeah, I remember them not like knocking though, which I thought was unforgivably rude. Like, and in America, if you do that, like you just enter someone's house, like they could have a gun and shoot you. And I'm sure there are parts of Canada like that as well. Like, I mean, it's less, I think in their culture, I think they have a more docile culture than we do. But, if you enter a person's house and they have a gun, like, oh, I think you can do that in America though too. You can knock on people's doors and ask for their kindness. I try to be that kind of neighbor, like with my neighbors. I remember having a neighbor who like would periodically just knock on my door and ask for some milk. And really she didn't need milk. She just needed to see someone who wasn't crazy for a minute and who like would, I don't know, I don't know, like she was going through it. She didn't make a lot of demands on me, but she knew if there was, I might have milk because I kept milk in the house generally. I haven't done that in a while. Maybe I would feel better if I had maybe a bit more milk. Yeah, I think I should. Yeah. Okay, so I think this was harsh. Yeah. It's amazing to me how people just are so comfortable. They're so comfortable like trashing a whole generation of people based on the actions of a few.
Pull me
Namaste.
over because I'm black.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Everyone is black.
Oh my goodness. That was funny. Okay, okay. Nazi salute in front of German police. I don't want to see that. Chaotic good. Oh, there's some swears here. So I lie to my child every Friday. This is my 4-year-old's first school year and he is in pre-K. He hates school so far and says it's boring. So I tell him that if he wakes up and goes to school without fighting me, he can stay home 2 days out of the week. During the week, I remind him about our deal when he is misbehaving. So he thinks that if I let him skip school on Saturday and Sunday because he's well behaved. This is under chaotic good. Already with the weird mind games with your kid. Okay. Ugh. Oddly long wheat thin I found while prepping snacks. Oh, look, they're showing off that they put their wheat thins into mason jars. I mean, you know that that's the stuff. You've made it when you've got your snackies in your mason jars. Americans are so funny. It comes in a box already. It is in a package, but people want to take it out and put it into these other little jars just to make it like make it look some kind of way. Because when it's in the wheat thins box, it just doesn't look that good. Oh my goodness. It's not as aspirational in the wheat thins box. Okay. Let's see what else we find here on Reddit. Okay. Quantum internet thing. Happiest doggo I've seen on the internet today.
这也太搞笑了，这怎么走的呢？
Very nice, very nice. That was a very happy doggo indeed. Wholesome memes. Be nice to the little you inside. You're over 30 and you still want a Happy Meal with a toy? Correct, madam. Oh dear. Cats. The little criminal will now have bad luck for half his lifespan. Oh yeah, kittens can be so destructive. I remember when mine was a kitten. Oh my goodness. He destroyed so many things. He broke so many things. Man, it was intense. It was intense. Okay, this is nice. Oh, this looks nice. Oh, hey, Frederick. Cannon your wheat thins. I see your SOS in the sand. Same old simps over here. I know. I need a different kind of simp over here, don't I? And then Matthew retorts that he is sword fighting like a gay. Well, that's, how nice. That's nice. The boys are greeting one another. Terry, read Fred's comment. I freeze my bread and cereal. You freeze your cereal? You can freeze cereal? You freeze cereal? What? Wait, what? I freeze bread, but cereal? Oh my goodness. I don't know what to think about that. What kind of cereal? Like, I mean, I don't eat a lot of cereal, to be honest. It's something I'll get occasionally. I used to eat it more. Cereal stays longer in the freezer. I didn't know. Does cereal go bad? Does cereal go like stale or something? I haven't experienced it. I mean, well, I have experienced it with some cereals. I shouldn't say that. I have experienced it a couple of times. Have I ever seen somebody store cereal in the freezer? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. You like grape nuts too, Stacy? Oh my God, I love grape nuts. I've been craving some. I might get some with like my next grocery order, I think. Next time I get groceries, I'm gonna get some friggin' grape nuts and some whole milk, and then I will eat them together. I like to let them sit a long time too, like for the milk to really absorb. And then I add some more milk because they're hard. I like them a little bit mushy, not like completely mushy. Once they get completely mushy, it's kind of weird, but I like them in that kind of in between stage. Thawing those oxalates and phytoestrogens. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can we not shame? Can we not? Are there a lot of oxalates in grape nuts? Red berries. I don't think I've eaten red berries, but I'll see. I'm very particular. There's only a couple of cereals I like. Like grape nuts is one, and then like for a sweet cereal, I like cinnamon life and yeah, that's kind of that. Some raisin bran. I like kind of more plain cereals, to be honest. But I mean, I have eaten sweeter ones, but yeah, I like kind of more plain ones. Yeah, cinnamon life is very good. I do try different cereals from time to time. I just haven't eaten it in a long time. Rice Krispies is corny. I like Rice Krispies actually. I do like them. Yeah, Rice Krispies, corn pops. Corn pops are like those were the very magical like ones when I was a kid that were like the best, sweetest, goodest thing. I haven't had them in years, but yeah, I didn't eat them often, Like I said, they're like the treat, the ultimate treat, cereal. That to me is it. Oh yeah, I used to eat those. Frosted shredded wheats are pretty good too. I wonder what they would be like now to eat. I don't know that I'd want to eat them. Yeah, grape nuts. I think they have barley in them. They're a mix of different flours, basically. but I know they have a barley flavor, which I kind of like. Okay, so yeah, this is titled "It's a Little Terrifying as a Queer Person to See This in in your own town." Oh my goodness, Terri, come on! It's a little terrifying as a queer person to see this in your own town. And F it in a dress is not a woman. LGBTQ defies God and nature. Protect or something. No, I don't know what it says, but I see something says worship women. Proud of what? PDF files, drug addiction, M. Lester, creating disease, perverts, psychotic behavior, mass shooters, serial killers. Huh. Yeah, that's something to be hanging on your car. I don't know. It's I I find it offensive. I find it offensive. Not just offensive like, on a just on a like person to person level, it's like being deliberately offensive, but like on a taste level, when people do that kind of thing to their trucks, I just am like, I feel like I'm in a bad place, like it's the kind of thing that should be parodied, but it's happening in real life. So it's more than parody, it's just like ultimate cringe. Get me away from this place and these people. I cannot deal with that kind of way of expressing oneself. It just, ugh. Bear or man, women on TikTok weigh in on viral debate. And then there's a black bear. I do find bears so cute. Okay. I mean, I love bears as an animal. I have a fascination with them. I'm aware of how dangerous they are. And to weigh in on this like conversation, I think in my specific position, I don't really have the ability, I feel, to deal with a bear safely. Um, unless it was a bear that had handlers or something like that was used to being around people. But I mean, the idea of being in the forest with a wild bear is, it doesn't come across as safe to me. And I think that, just, yeah, I don't think it's healthy or right to have that kind of level of fear about men specifically. Like, and I think it's more weird programming, this whole meme. It's like just more, how can we trigger women and make them fearful? And how can we terrorize men and make them like, afraid as well? I mean, yeah, it's to trigger fear in both men and women for different reasons. So like, yeah, I guess in my opinion, yeah, it's one of these things where I'm like, no, I wouldn't feel safer with a bear. I feel like in terms of dealing with something, I would fare better with a man, generally speaking, not all, obviously. you know, there are, ones out there that I could see not feeling safe with, but like, it's just, I feel like it's one of those really just awful questions, and it's just deliberate. It's meant to trigger us and make us upset, men and women both. And, also have women bonding over like trauma together instead of growing up. What happened? He aged. Jim Carrey. Yes. If you live long enough, you're going to get old. The areas of my keyboard I don't touch. Ew, gross. There's a cute guy living at my work. Oh my goodness. Look at those claws. I love when cats have their claws out in pictures. I love when I've been able to capture my kitty with his claws out. They're so wonderful. Terry's scared of pickup trucks. I kind of am, okay? I like had to deal with them. I did not like them. But I don't like when men put all their opinions all over their pickup trucks. It's just kind of like, and then also that was very garish and extreme and like, yeah, it doesn't consider the humanity of other people. It's not. It doesn't come across from a place of love. I feel that doesn't communicate that to me. It communicates like I'm gonna, make you kind of uncomfortable for my own grandiose reasons. Matthew says it's gay to put that on your truck. Indeed, it is. Yeah, it's, the old school meaning back when we used to say that things were gay for, being bad. Who is the better gay serial killer, Gacy or Dahmer? That's a great question. I don't know. I feel like Jeffrey is more of like he gets you in the feelings more. I don't know many people who've ever like pitied or looked sadly upon like Gacy. He doesn't have that kind of like tortured soul element that Jeffrey has, which, makes him almost human. Bears are rodents. They are a bit rodent-like. I love their little ears and tails. They're so cute. I mean, I love watching them like as they waddle about. Like they're also ferocious and terrifying and could kill you very easily. I'm like in awe of them, really. As a creature. I mean, I remember times I've seen bears and it's just been like the most magical thing. Like to see a bear, it's like beyond. I mean, I don't want to like put down any other animals, but like when you see a bear, like it's so exciting and thrilling and like they're so beautiful. I don't know what to say, like just the way they are. They're beautiful creatures. I love them. I don't know. And I think too, I find them very, I think they're like animals that we can learn from. I mean, most animals, all animals, can teach us something, but bears, their ferocity and yet their goofiness, like they're so wonderful. So yeah, I mean, it's hard for me with this because I like love bears. And I'm like, oh God, I would love to encounter a bear, but like, I'm also aware that it could end very badly for me, depending on the type of bear, but also like, just the fact that it's a bear and it's, if I startle it or if it's hungry enough, it's going to come for me and it's going to win. Possibly. I mean, but then again, you can just ask the bear to leave. Has anyone thought about that? So insensitive. Anyway, yeah, back to this gorgeous cat. Look at this cat's claws and its ears back. Like, oh, how wonderful. Like, Cats are so proud when they have their little claws out. You know, they show them off. I love seeing that. Matthew has a funny comment. Bears don't ask to eat my leftovers, just like women. Yes. Who can be most afraid of men as a way for men to prove that they are not as dangerous as a bear? It's typical feminist nonsense. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, I don't like when that happens. When people eat one's leftovers, it's not nice. Yeah, ladies are to be corralled via fear, and men are to be totally demoralized in the eyes of the manipulative criminal network. Indeed. Indeed. Hey, Big Bad Mama. How are you? It was cool seeing you on the other day. I think I'm missing Maud's channel. Bears are ultra territorial, but if you are not fearful of them, it messes with their prey drive. Indeed, yeah. I understand that. I understand that about them. And yeah, I've seen people like live near bears and not have problems for years, but I think it's always important to remember that you're dealing with an animal that's wild and you know, but like I said, they're very sweet. When I've seen bears, like just the few times I have in my life, they were very. They didn't seem to be looking for any kind of trouble. Bears versus cats. Bear is greater than tiger. Oh, I love them both. Terry, you could get away from bear. I believe I could. I believe I could. I believe I could. I do not fear the bear. Okay. If I ever come across a bear again, I'm going to stand my ground. Stacy says that black bears will kill you. Oh my goodness. Per capita, black bears are more dangerous. Well, I mean, we had grizzlies, growing up. And my school was a little bit in the woods. So occasionally bears would come into the territory and area around there. So there were a number of times in high school where we would get put on lockdown just until the bear was like either removed from the area or tranquilized and moved, because there's like a lot of, there were a lot of, walking paths, bike paths in that area, trails and that kind of thing, as well as, people living. There was a base near it as well, like I think the Air Force Base. So yeah, there was a lot of, people around in that area as well as the school. So bear coming into that area, like the community would get kind of, on lockdown until the bear had been kind of removed, essentially. So grizzlies, yeah, they're big and scary, and you grow to fear them. But I have seen them. Like it would often happen when we would just be driving. On the highways in Alaska, they would kind of come, they'd cross usually, or be on the side of the road. And you'd catch them, you'd see them, and you'd just be like, wow. Yeah, there were animals around. It was interesting. There was a lot of wooded area and that kind of thing, so you get critters different critters. I remember my neighbor had a porcupine come into her house during the summer. She just had her door open, letting the air kind of come in and doing that kind of thing. And she porcupine wandered into her home and then took a nap. So she came over and hung with us for a while until it left. Crazy. Like if I had a porcupine in your house, that's not something you want to get hit with. You don't want to get into it with a porcupine. Ugh. But she was fine. It left. Big Bad Mama and Vasco Vasconomi reminding us to never declaw your cats. Amen. I did see bear. I saw bears a couple of times. Yeah. I saw a herd of caribou once. That was amazing. They took 10 minutes to cross the highway. And we just were parked there with this massive herd of wild caribou walking through. This was near Denali. Denali is incredible. That whole area is just, I don't know. My dad took me through the Denali Highway, which was an incredible drive. It's magical looking. So we saw a lot of critters, saw a lot of ptarmigan in the Girdwood area, little ptarmigan. They're so cute, especially in the summer. They're kind of darker, but as it starts to get colder and they start to turn white again, they're very cute. Whales. I saw belugas. They were very common during parts of the year. They would come into the inlet and they would be basically following the fish they eat. And then, so it's an interesting thing because fishermen would fish these huli fish. They're very, very oily, very, very, very oily fish. So you use them, they're fat for doing a number of things. But they're also a favored food group of the beluga whales. So I've seen a lot of beluga whales a number of times, just swimming in the water. They're very fascinating. I've seen ice worms in the that live in the glaciers. I've seen those. And I've gone up on a ferry to see the Portage Glacier. It would go there from time to time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where to begin. I was so blessed to grow up in such a beautiful landscape and to have that appreciation of nature. When I was really small, we would go to the beach almost every day. My dad would just drive and throw me out on the beach, and I'd just run around and play and pick up things from the water and look at them and, find cool rocks. That's when I started collecting rocks, was in that time, because we lived in Homer. So he would take me out on the spit there, which is just this incredible, small area. I don't know. And then there was a time I went clam digging with my friend Nathan and his family. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that last night, actually. I had that memory of that incredible time we went clam digging and how magical it was. And I didn't even expect to do it. It was my day off. I was hanging out with my friend Nathan. I went out to the valley because he lived in Willow and I lived in Anchorage. And we kind of had met through mutual friends. He had dated one of my friends that I talked about here, and he was crazy. When I think about it now, I'm just But he was, he was a very sweet person too, and funny, and like, he would be like, he would like brag about like the silliest things. Like, he told me he watched a pig die once. He was like, Terry, I watched a pig die. And then he was like, telling me this story about how he was at this like protest thing, and this cop had like had a heart attack, and he's like, he spoke his last words to me, and I was like, what were his last words? And he said, back the F up. So that's a story from my friend Nathan. So okay, Alaskans are as wild as like the nature. Okay, don't ask me about the bears and the eagles and the moose and the caribou and like the porcupines and the ptarmigans and the whales and the salmon. Oh man, the salmon runs. They're incredible to watch, the salmon runs. Don't ask me about all these things, okay? Ask me about the people. Because Alaskans are very big personalities. So yeah, I used his real name. Nathan, if you're out there, I am sorry. You probably would think it was cool though that I was telling people about how like you watched a pig die in your words. And when he told me that, I thought he was talking about like an actual pig. Like I didn't put it together that he was saying a police officer. Like what the heck? Yeah, and Stacy says we have not had enough rough terrain Alaska stories. Oh, so rough. I've never heard of ice worms. That's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. Speaking of claws, why are you digging your claws in me? What are you doing, baby? Come on. Come on. What? You want to get up here? Come on. Come on. You want some attention? Excuse me, we're having an intermission. The cat has showed up. I summoned you. I summoned you by bringing up this little kitty with the claws. I love your claws, don't I? But sometimes they scratch me and it hurts. But one must suffer sometimes for love. It is worth it. Yes. What a good kitty. Okay. Yeah. He needs attention sometimes. Don't we all? Don't we all? Hey, okay, do you want to get on my lap now? Have I convinced you that it would be worthwhile? Okay, Nero has joined us. Let's take a little intermission here. I'll get back on for me. Hey, everybody. Ice worms are a thing. Ice worms are a thing. All right, we have Nero here. You have anything to say? Should I adjust the camera for Nero? I don't know. Oh, I don't know if I can. If I could reach it while he's in my lap. No, I can't. Okay. Oh well. Hey, ooh, you coming up? Stacy says that's a good color for me. Oh, the shirt I'm wearing? Yeah, I don't wear a lot of blue, so thank you. I wasn't sure if it suited me or not. I'm like, it's like, even if a color doesn't suit me entirely, like I can still usually rock it, but thank you. You say it looks good. I like this top. I've worn it twice now. It will be, I think, cool. It will be when it's comfortable and it's, feminine and culturally appropriative. I'm into it. Okay. I learned everything I know about bears from Marty Stouffer's Wild America in PBS in the late 1980s. That sounds good. Okay. All right, yeah, Nero has joined us. We're just taking a little intermission, but I am going to pull back up Reddit. And here we go. Keep it moving. Okay, so who was your favorite sitcom dad? For me, it was Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Oh, there's a nostalgia subreddit. We're gonna take that. Definitely. Let's see. Philip Banks, Uncle Phil. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite sitcom dad. But I am interested in the nostalgia page. What the soda section of a gas station used to look like, and it was usually outside. I mean, there are places where that is still the case. Quite interesting, yeah, the labels. I love that Diet Pepsi label. Oh, that's cool. It looks like a flag. And the Diet Coke. Like, that looks... I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Okay. I do not care for Mountain Dew. I don't really like Pepsi either. I mean, of these, yeah, I'd be most likely to drink a Diet Coke, followed by like a Diet Pepsi, and then if I wanted sugar, I would have like the Dr. Pepper 7-Up. But I'm not a big soda drinker. I mean, I drink my little probiotic sodas, yeah, that are like, I guess, more natural. I said, and so I guess I do like soda, but I'm a bit bougie about it, Okay, so let's continue. What? Oh, sweetie, come on. Let's all take a moment to appreciate blank VHS packaging design trends. Oh yeah, look at those. Yeah. I had some cool blank VHSs. It was cool recording on these. I remember recording like a number of music videos one summer when like VH1 was doing, they were doing like all the music videos in their vault from like A to Z. So they started with artists from A and then went all the way to Z, and it was, I tuned in periodically for this, but that's actually where I kind of first fell in love with like Adam Ant, learned about him and wanted to be him. And yeah, it was, I don't know if I remember which packaging it is though. I don't remember what the packaging was like or what the brand was that I used. Oh, how times change, how technology changes. Most of my friends never heard of the show Out of This World. I feel like I'm the only one who ever saw it. Well, I've never seen it. Christmas in the 80s. Ooh, Light Bright. Oh, awesome. Barbie, Light Bright. Crayola, Candyland looks pretty good. Yikes pencils in the 90s. Who else had them? Oh my goodness. Yeah, things marketed to kids in the 90s were so extreme. Like, it's cool though. Shifty 5, I don't know. Looking Back, was Zach Morris a sociopath? Oh goodness. I think I've read stuff about that, but I never really watched that show. Okay, yeah. Married with Children. Steve Rhodes versus Jefferson Darcy. What do y'all think? I think Jefferson, yeah, I think Jefferson was a more pleasing character. He was better looking. We'll just say that he was more handsome, so he was more fun to watch, and he was funny. Oh yes, the Trapper Keepers. Yes, probiotic pop exists. Wild. Yep. IJS Urban Adventures. Reddit is bad for the brain, Terry. No, it's bad for the brain. I guess you could say it's putting the brain to sleep. Tomas, let it go. Let it go. Bye, but he didn't want to talk to you. Okay. Yeah, I would say Jefferson, definitely. Only on the count that he was better looking. What's your favorite 3-album run of an artist in the 90s? I would pick REM with Out of Time, Automatic for the People, and Monster, truly masterpieces. Yeah, I liked REM. I had an REM phase. I never really kind of recovered it after a certain point. Like, I listen to them now and I'm like, sometimes I'll want to listen to one of their songs. It does happen, but they're not an artist I'd put on and like really listen to anymore, which is interesting because I had Out of Time and Automatic for the People. I probably still do actually because I still have my CDs, at least most of them that I had. I've kept them. So yeah, I'm interested in what people say. 90s music. Let's go. Let's talk about some 90s music. That sounds good. I love this. Oh, and look, they're advertising Ozempic to us. Okay. I'm a guy who doesn't particularly love Melancholy, but Smashing Pumpkins, Gish, Siamese Dream, and Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Like, why didn't he type out the titles? Like, he just says Siamese and Melancholy. Like, the title is Siamese Dream. Or no, it's not. It's Siamese. But Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Like, the Infinite Sadness. Hello? That's a big part of it. Say hi, or I'm about to talk about the feats again. Oh, no. No, that was horrible. I was so shook. You know why I was shook? Because I deserved it. There was someone that I knew many years ago when I was a less nice person, and I talked smack about them behind their back with another person, and I said she had hooves. So when you came on and said I had hooves, and we're just talking about my hooves, I just I had a moment of remembering how, I deserve that. Lord, they're talking about Pokemon cards in the damn chat. What the heck? Siamese Dream. Was it Siamese Dream? I remember it being Siamese Dream. Okay. Yeah, I'm right. We're right. Okay. Thank you. And yeah, it came before Melancholy. Yeah. Law of sowing and reaping. Indeed. God will humble you. God was using you to humble me. I was like, man. It is something funny to say to people though. Like I remember when I said it about that like other person, that other woman, I remember laughing hysterically because I was like, it's hilarious to say somebody has hooves. It's just like such a weird insult. Like I thought I was like a genius or something. So anyway, let's continue. Yeah. Pablo Honey, The Bends, and OK Computer by Radiohead. Nice. Nice. Okay, my favorite. Okay, my favorite, I think it's really tough, but I have to say that Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness is my favorite of those three albums. But Siamese is like a very close second. I had to think and be sure. So if I had to think and be sure, I know that it was a tough decision. Like, okay, so yeah, and then my favorite of the Radiohead albums is probably the Bends. I like the Bends the most. I mean, I don't know, it's just very I just relate to it the most. Like the songs are I think the most relatable or have been in my life. So I felt that album more. I felt that way. This person's Stone Temple Pilots, Core, Purple, and Tiny Music #4. I don't know. I never really got into the Stone Temple Pilots, which is actually, I'm wrong for that. I should actually explore them more because I do remember liking a number of their songs. And then we have a Pearl Jam fan. I'll say 10 Verses and Vitology. I love the album 10. Yeah, that 10 would be my favorite. That album, my dad had like a cassette of it, so we listened to it a lot. Like, I just know those songs by heart because, we would listen to it when we would go on drives. So that was like a really good album for that. There's like just a few albums like that I grew up listening to so much that I just know in and out. And like, yeah, that album is one of those. It's your parents' music. My dad loved Pearl Jam. Like, he liked a lot of that kind of stuff. He liked like Candlebox too. I remember being in Fairbanks and ending up in this like little really small thrift store, but they had like cassettes, and I picked him out a Candlebox cassette when we were there. That was a cool trip. Anyway, okay. Alice in Chains, Facelift, Dirt, and Self-Titled. Not really into Alice in Chains, so I don't have a favorite there. Tool, Undertow, Anima, and Lateralis. I'm also not a big Tool fan. Like, I can listen, I like their songs are interesting, but I can't imagine listening to one of their albums like all the way through. It's just too intense. Depeche Mode, Music for the Masses, Violator, and Songs of Faith and Devotion. Yes. Yes. That is a very serious evolution of a band. Yeah, all of those albums. I think, oh, that's hard. That's a really hard one. Of those three, my favorite would probably be Music for the Masses. I don't know, but I feel bad because it's like Songs of Faith and Devotion is also really, really amazing too. But Music for the Masses, I just feel was like so influential. That's the album that really made me fall in love with Depeche Mode. Like, that's the one that I got crazy about. Okay, Rage Against the Machine. I'm also not a big fan of theirs. I know. It's just it's too macho sounding, a lot of it. And it's like some of their songs I've listened to, I've been like, yeah, this is good, but I can't really. Yeah, so they're self-titled Evil Empire and Battle of Los Angeles. Okay, and then Tori Amos has included Little Earthquakes, Under the Pink, and Boys for Pele. All right. Yeah, with that, I would say Little Earthquakes. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Oh, somebody got Oasis. I love Oasis. Definitely, maybe. What's the Story? Morning Glory and Be Here Now. All killer records. I concur. I concur. Um, I think my favorite of the three is definitely Maybe, just because it has kind of probably my favorite Oasis songs on it. But like, What's the Story? Morning Glory is also amazing. I just think I like the songs on Definitely Maybe more, just a little bit more. I really love, oh man, what's that song? Oh man, I can't remember the title of it. I'm so bad. Supersonic, that's it. Supersonic. That was like, I love that song so much. I remember like listening to that and like hyping myself up. Like Oasis is very hypey, you know. I like that about them, but it gets you like built up. I don't know. Soundgarden, okay, with Bad Motor Finger, Super Unknown, and Down on the Upside. Yeah, okay. Bad Motor Finger was another one that we had in the truck. So I would say that one's my favorite. I wasn't that into Soundgarden, but I did have that album. Somebody again voting for Smashing Pumpkins. They're voting Siamese Dream, Melancholy, and Adore. I agree. I feel like Gish, I like Gish, but I'm not like as in love with it. I don't know it like I know these other albums. And Adore, oh my God, I love Adore. Adore is like so moody. Oh. Bjork, okay. Bjork with Debut, Post, and Homogenic. Okay. Yeah, which one is my favorite of those three? I would say Debut. Yeah, no, I kind of like, yeah. I've spent more time with that album than the other two. Like I really kind of listened to that and like really felt it for a while. It's just I don't know. I kind of like it's. I didn't get into Bjork until like later. I mean, I had one of her albums. I think Vespertine is what it was called, and it had like some beautiful songs on it, like the one of Aurora Goddess Sparkle. Like that one was just so sweet, and I don't know. Like I saw the Aurora growing up, so it had this kind of like northern feel and. Yeah, I liked that one. Anyway, so yeah, I had that album, but and I had like the Sugar Cubes. I had some albums by them, which I kind of was into more. I listened more to like in my teen years, and I didn't really listen to Bjork properly until I was like older. So Debut kind of was one that I think I to most when I was exploring her work. So yeah, the Cranberries. I love the Cranberries, obviously. That was another band that we listened to a lot growing up, like that everybody else is doing it, so why can't we album? Like that one I know up and down, back and forth on my heart. Like that album is amazing. And it was produced by Stephen Street, like my favorite producer. So it's just an amazing album. And it really kind of sets the tone for everything else they did. I mean, they came out strong. Like, I don't know. So yeah, No Need to Argue is also an amazing album, and To the Faithful Departed, yeah. Of the three, I would say everybody else is doing it, so why can't we is my favorite. Um, and yeah, No Need to Argue would be second. And then To the Faithful Departed, I do like that album, but I didn't like it as much as the other two. It kind of got like more rocky, their sound, and I didn't like that so much with them. Although it's cool that they did that in a lot of ways, and I think like their their kind of transformation as a band is interesting to listen to. They became very like big, and they kind of, yeah, I don't know. It's like that beginning album is so. I think it's also the production of the album too. It's just such a really interestingly like sound wise. The other two albums are more. I don't know, they're just evolving more. They're kind of getting into more like of a clear sound. It has less of that kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I'm going off about this. I don't need to, because I don't go off about albums like this. Okay. Alice in Chains, again, I don't know their work. Blink 182, never got into them. Don't really like them. Backstreet Boys, oh dang, with self-titled album Backstreet's Back and Millennium. Yeah, I don't know. Another group I have not explored. Beastie Boys, with Check Your Head, Ill Communication, and Hello Nasty. I don't know their work enough to really go on about that. I should check in with the chat. How are y'all doing? I'm enjoying this. What do I think about Jane's Addiction? I like Jane's Addiction, actually. Yes. I like them. They're very like, their songs. Yes, Jane said. Yeah. Oh my God. Ain't gonna work today. That song is so heartbreaking. Like, oh my God. Man. I like their album, Nobody Ever Bothered a Woman. Deftones were amazing. Okay. Yeah, Deftones. I never really got into them either, but they did have an interesting sound. Now all I see is girls talking about Deftones. Most of the albums are sex, so I get it. Do you still have CDs? Yes, I do. I still buy CDs. Not all the time, but like when certain artists will come out with a new album, I will buy the album. So yeah, I'm likely to buy a CD because I do have a CD player, or like if I end up in somebody's car going on a trip or something, which hasn't happened in a number of years. Modest Mouse. Okay, yeah, Modest Mouse. Yes. I love Modest Mouse. Oh, The Moon in Antarctica, and then what's that? The Lonesome Crowded West. Oh my God. The Lonesome Crowded West. Oh, I love the like, oh, I don't know. Anyway, do I like CDs or tapes? I don't have any more. I don't have tapes anymore. I loved cassettes. Like listening to things on cassette is, and but I mean, yeah, I do have CDs. I don't have any cassettes. I do have a cassette player though. Actually, I have like a portable one. Um, my friend, the old lady I've talked about before, she kind of just brought it and gave it to me one day. So if I ever do come across a cassette, I'll be able to play it. Records and records players are making a comeback. I mean, they never really went out. I sold my records a long time ago, and I just don't really want to. I do like playing them, but I don't know. It is a lot, I'm better accustomed to, I listen to most music streaming. So that is what it is. But yeah, like if one of my favorite bands like comes out with an album, I'll buy their new album. That's just kind of my rule. Or if I'm like out and I come across like some CDs somewhere, I might pick up some. Um, but yeah, I don't listen to my CD player very much. I probably should more. Every now and then I will put on an album. Like I do have like a bunch of them, like CDs just stacked next to my CD player over there, and I kind of like will occasionally put one of those albums on. I have that like Sinead O'Connor album. It's out of production and kind of, I guess it's rare now, and it skips a little, but it's the one where she does, I don't know, it's the name's in Irish. It's like, but she does a lot of, anyway, she does a lot of traditional like Irish songs. She does them in a new way. So it's a very good album. Anyways, yeah. I don't know. I didn't like that song. I thought it was too much. Mandinka. Yeah. Mandinka. She's so wild. I love her. I'm so sad she passed away recently. She was like, that hurt when Sinead went. It was like, not Sinead. Not Sinead. I just, and she just, she's just such a mess. But I love her, and her music is so beautiful. I know, but it's, it's tough for me getting in and out of cars. It's my friends. The last time my friend took me to, she took me to out to Oregon City for the like CPI convention that was happening, so I went to that because my friend Caleb had started that, organization, and it's been growing. So I wanted to be supportive, and it was a good event. It was radical left stuff. So, but it was a good event. Like I was, they did do a pretty interesting mix of things. So, what was I trying to say? But yeah, my friend took me, she took me there, but like getting me in her car was a mess, y'all. We had to like figure out how to do it, and it took a while, but then, I did figure out how to slide into the car. But I was in this like really funny position when I did get in there at first, and I was like, okay, now buckle me in. And she and I were like laughing for a whole minute, like plus, because it was just ridiculous. Because like my legs were like in the air. It was just funny. I'm glad I wore pants that day. I almost wore a dress. I'm glad I didn't. Pants were the correct thing to do. Thelma and Louise. Yeah, it was a bit like that. I love that movie. I mean, Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis, girly BFFs for life, become ride or die sisters in crime. Like, it's amazing. That's amazing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Let's go on. Let's continue this. Okay. Hey, Bubba G, what's up? You're not gonna do that? Okay, let's see. Wu-Tang solo albums count, then it might be Raekwon's Built for Cuban Links, Jizza's Liquid Swords, and Ghostface Iron Man. And that is leaving off ODB's Return to the 36 Chambers, which was released right before Cuban Links. I don't know these albums. I never really explored Wu-Tang Clan. Can I be real with you all? I have not explored their work. I should. I do. I should. I guess I'll be looking these up. Okay, so then Pavements Slanted and Enchanted. I like that album. I owned it. And I owned Crooked Rain too, but Wowie Zowie I'm not familiar with. I don't like Pavement that much. Slanted and Enchanted would be my preferred album. I just kind of like the songs a little bit more, but it wasn't, I couldn't really get into it that much. The energy was kind of like, while I'm not the biggest fan of 10, okay, well then you're wrong. 10 is amazing. Pearl Jam had a great run with 10, Versus, and Vitalogy. I like No Code and Yield, but they weren't as great as Versus and Vitalogy. I hope I'm saying that right. If Unplugged counts for Nirvana, then Nevermind, In Utero, and Unplugged is a hell of a run, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody mentioned Nirvana. Nevermind, In Utero, and Unplugged. Okay. I think Nevermind, we had that cassette in the truck. My dad drove a truck. He was a man. He drove a truck. Okay, so obviously I think Nevermind would be my preferred album of the three. I don't know. I had another album by them though. I can't remember it now. What was it called? Oh, they had like Bleach was their first album, right? And then they had I want to say Insecticide. I don't know if that's right though. Maybe that was a song on the album. But yeah, I probably wouldn't put it up there with Unplugged because Unplugged is really awesome too. Oh, Nirvana. Okay, we got 40 Ounces to Freedom, Robin the Hood, and Sublime, self-titled by Sublime. Okay, I don't know these. White Trash, Two Heaves and a Bean, Punk in Drublick. Why is this familiar? Does anybody know who this is? Punk in Drublick and Heavy Petting Zoo. Who is this? Why is it not coming to me? Core Purple and Tiny Music. That's Stone Temple Pilots, right? We saw that earlier. And then Foo Fighters, The Color and the Shape, and There's Nothing. Noting Left to Lose. Maybe they meant nothing. I think it's probably appropriate to put the bands with, your list so that I would know if I didn't know. Okay, PJ Harvey, Rid of Me, To Bring You My Love, and Is This Desire. I think To Bring You My Love is the preferred album of the three. I like her to a certain degree, but I never I don't know, PJ Harvey's a hard one for me. I feel like there are times when I've listened to her where I'm just like, whoa, she's pretty amazing, but then I don't know, I just never. There's also a part of listening to her where it gets a bit much. I don't know. She's just very intense energy. But yeah, I would say To Bring You My Love. I think I've listened to that album the most, and I think it was my first album that I discovered her in. I think my dad actually got it for me. He'd heard about her. I think he heard some of her music, and he thought I would like it. So it was sweet. He bought me a couple of her albums. He bought me that album, and he bought me that one that she released. Oh God, I'm like, it's the New York City album. That's not the title. Whatever. So that was nice of him. But yeah, she's one I have mixed feelings about. Della Soul, DLS is Dead, Balloony, Mind State, and Stakes is High. 9 Inch Nails, Broken, EP, The Downward Spiral, and The Fragile. I don't really have an opinion about either of these two. Massive Attack with Blue Lines, Protection, and Mezzanine. Okay, yeah, I do like Massive Attack. So this is, I think, favorite is obviously Blue Lines. I mean, what an album. And yeah, I'd say yeah, it goes in that order. I like Mezzanine the least. Protection is one I do listen to a bit more, but Blue Lines is like, I mean, I listen to that one the most. Okay, Sonic Youth with Goo, Dirty, and Experimental Jet Set Trash and No Star. Okay, yeah, which do I prefer? Goo is probably my favorite one of those albums by Sonic Youth. I don't know, like they're another band that I like. I listen to Goo the most, I think, of their albums. It's good. I mean, it is good. But I'm like, I haven't really explored this third one, Experimental Jet Set Trash and No Star. Like, I don't know. I haven't even heard of that album. So like, I feel like they're one of those bands where I have a limited understanding of their work. But that would be, I have listened to that. I like that album. So we'll give it that one. Archers, I've never heard of. Check Your Head, Ill Communication, and Hello Nasty. 2 votes for the Beastie Boys. Okay. Primus. Primus, there's one I haven't heard in a while. Sailing the Seas of Cheese, Pork Soda, and Tales from the Punch Bowl. It's Ben Folds 5 with their self-titled Whatever and Ever Amen. Yes, I love that album. The unauthorized biography of Reinhold Messner. I'm a piano player, and those 3 albums are what got me interested in playing piano. Really? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the piano leads in Ben Folds 5, for real. I've only listened to the first 2 albums of the 2. Whatever Never Amen is, I think, my favorite, obviously. That one I just had longer. I picked it up when I was a teenager, so it's been with me ever since then. So I just have a deeper connection to it. Didn't listen to the first until much later. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing too about with listening to music now, discovering music now versus when I was younger. Like, I just would randomly buy albums from artists that, I thought I might like, you know? And now it's like you can just really kind of more easily access music, than I had options when I was younger. I mean, we had MP3s and that kind of thing, but it took forever to download on like our connection. And, I did, occasionally download music and that kind of thing, but it just wasn't something I was really into. And yeah, so I would buy albums, and that was one I just kind of picked up because, I'd heard of them and then really loved that album. I was like, yeah, but you had a piano leads. Okay, somebody's voting for U2's Octung Baby, Zarapa, and Pop. I've only listened to Octung Baby. No, I've listened to Pop too. I don't really. Maybe I'm a fan of U2. I like U2 actually a lot. The Joshua Tree album is like one of the first albums I remember listening to as a kid. So it's like very deeply embedded in my, consciousness, that album. It's just very beautiful. So that band, I don't know. I didn't really like kind of the direction they went in at that time. Anyway, Beck. Oh, somebody actually would put Beck on here. Beck, what do we think about Beck? What do people think about Beck? I have like really mixed feelings about Beck. Whole Live Through This. Okay, but it has to be like 3 albums in a row. Yeah, that album, I mean, yeah. That album is amazing. That album is it. That album is perfect. It's like one of those perfect albums. It never changes, never gets old. Like it's just always always hits. Method Man is the must-hear guy associated with Wu-Tang. It is absurd how smooth he sounds. There's a video on YouTube of him freestyling on Tim Westwood, and it's crazy. Can rattle off hits and shrug. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Incesticide, that's it. It's worse than insecticide. It's incesticide. Nice. Yeah. I listened to that album quite a bit. There's some, interesting stuff on it. I don't know. Nirvana. How do we feel about Nirvana? Nirvana is like one of those things. It's like too big to look at sometimes. Like, if I really go in my heart, it's like, yeah, I love Nirvana, but like the hype and the drama of them, it's just so much to bear. Missy Mod, thank you. That's so nice. I look beautiful tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Well, let's continue. Let's continue to delve. We're at 2 hours. Okay. I will have to wrap it up soon if I want to be decent to myself. So, and to my cat, yes, to you. Hello. Huh? Are you coming or no? Are you going to go over here or no? Okay, so yeah, Odelay, Mutations, and Midnight Vultures. I don't know, I'm not a big Beck fan. I can't really say. We have another vote for the Radiohead trilogy. Tribe Called Quest, People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm, Low End Theory, and Midnight Marauders. Okay. Okay, we got a Sonic Youth fan, and they're not naming them. Interesting little thing to think about. Kitty says, not Missy Mutt again. No, he wouldn't do that. So yeah, we're back on the nostalgia subreddit. The Math Blaster. Oh my goodness. A vintage 80s blanket I recently got. Look at that. Interesting. I like it. I don't know. It's a bit institutional looking, if I'm honest. Surf Ninjas. I have never seen this. Looks amazing. Rob Schneider, Ernie Reyes Jr., Rob Schneider, and Leslie Nielsen. Okay. The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. It's 25 years ago. Wow. The Mummy is 25 years old. Wow. The Mummy was good. We all like The Mummy, right? Look at that digital camera. Bought from Radio Shack. I miss Radio Shack. I was thinking about Radio Shack the other day. There's a space where the Radio Shack used to be, and I was remembering how I'd went in there and purchased things that I needed. Just right there, just in and out. And I miss that convenience. Just knowing that Radio Shack would be there, I took them for granted, and now I know that they're out there, but where? They're not close. They're not near me like they used to be. What are you saying? What do you want from me? You want my attention, but you go over there to get it? That doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense to you? Is that logical to you? Why don't you come to me to get the attention? Why do you go over there to get the attention? Am I right or am I right? Is that logical? What do you all think? Is that logical? What I gotta deal with this cat? I talk to him, I tell him, like, make it make sense when you deal with me, or I'm not gonna, but he has his own rules and his own games of engagement, It's not, you can't reason with a cat. Reason doesn't work. It's all emotion. It's all like just what? Anyways, let's continue with the nostalgia. Oh, there's a Chipotle ad. I do love Chipotle. I was craving them recently and ordered them on DoorDash. I felt like special. I was like, I mean, I do that, occasionally, like not all the time. I try to, have more food at home, but like occasionally I just can't bring myself to cook. So it has to happen. But yeah, I was feeling the Chipotle recently and I wanted one of their burritos. So I ordered one of their burritos and it was awesome. I like ate the whole thing. Just yup. It was good. Okay, anyway. Okay, cordless phones. Oh, I love the cordless phone. We had a cordless, obviously. So classy. Reason why I'm single, number 2477, plays with Crayola Crayon Maker. No, that sounds cool. What are you talking about? Why would that make you single? What's wrong with this person? I found these Zoo Pals at Meijer yesterday. Oh my God. Zoo Pals plates for dipping. Those are horrible. My now wife sporting the Dorothy Hamill haircut in the late 1970s. That haircut is pretty fab, I have to say. Look at how it hangs around. It's shaped very interestingly. I don't know. I haven't thought about gum checks in over 20 years. Oh, that sounds amazing. They're like checks made of gum. Yum. When the weatherman or fireman came to school, extended forecast. Cute. Okay, let's see. I guess we're out of there. Cinnamon graham cookies. McDonald's cookies from 1997. Oh. Oh, wow. Look at that kid's haircut. That poor child. Making that child look like that. No, you are not going outside if that's what you're asking for. That's not going to happen. You are not going outside. Do you hear me? Oh, we're gonna have, yeah. Oh, Mr. Big and Bad. What are you doing? Animals don't like cameras. No. Oh, do you think so? Do you not like the camera? You okay? You okay? You're okay. I know. Hey, it's okay. I'll get off soon. I'm almost done. Just a little more. Just a little more. It's okay. We're wrapping up. But yeah. The art of loving correction for Christian parents, God, the rod, and your child's bod. Why are they doing that? Those cookies. That naughty child sneaking into the cookie jar. Oh no. The Secret World of Alex Mack. Oh yeah, I forgot about Alex Mack. No, I don't remember this about peanuts. Old Kool-Aid print advertisement. Fruit extender for punch. Interesting. Tasty recipes on every package. Oh my. I haven't had that in so long, Kool-Aid. USA Up All Night. I love her hair. Oh, wow. Look at that outfit. That's crazy. She was allowed on TV like that. Look at that. Look at that. Should that be on TV? That is not wholesome. Okay, we've shamed it enough. Retro sports wallpaper. Oh my god. Okay, advertisement for the Air National Guard. Beekman's World. Okay, I loved Beekman's World. Yes. Loved the rat. Beekman's World was something else. I don't even know. Anyone ever have a little professor? Oh, interesting. Is this like a calculator? I had a little calculator, but it wasn't cool like that. A stovetop playset. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. Polly Pockets for boys. Okay. Mighty Max. Oh, yeah. Pokey Gear nostalgia. Okay. Knight Rider. Oh, my. In honor of AAPI Heritage Month, what AAPI character had the greatest impact on your childhood? Anyone want to answer that? Don't call him a gorilla. He's a cat. He is a feline. Did he rest? No, he didn't. Okay, baby, it's okay. Yeah, are the birds coming out yet? Yesterday I saw them. Or did I see them this morning? No, it was last night. I saw the birds there were a lot of crows flocking in the skies. It's nice when I see them. They used to go right past my window, but they don't anymore. Although I do have one that well, a couple really, but that hang out on the lamppost across the street. So I do see them. I mean, they're around generally, but yeah, I used to be able to catch them in the skies and watch them. Although now, I mean, I do catch them. What am I saying? Like, I do get pretty good views of them, but they would be like closer where I used to live. But yeah, I get pretty good views of that sometimes when they're going through the sky. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have a favorite or know what character impacted my childhood. Yeah, I don't know. It's Splash Beagle, Charlie Brown. Watching the Glowworms cartoon before school. That is so cute. Oh my goodness. They're so cute. Arrested Development. Oh yes, Kids in the Hall. Let's see it. Oh, it's a YouTube video. Well, will it play?
You smell that? That's the smell of spring, and I love it. You know what I love to do in spring? I love to come out into the woods, to walk amongst the budding trees, to smell and to taste the hint of renewal that hovers in the air like a heady perfume, and to listen to the song of the birds who've returned from their long sojourn south, and bury the people that I killed during the winter.
Oh my, Kids in the Hall. Okay, I'm a big Kids in the Hall fan. Love the Kids in the Hall. Coming out now. I was blessed to meet both Scott and Kevin at an event at one point. So, like, just saying. Yeah, I just so funny. Really impacted my humor, my sense of humor. The Kids in the Hall. Okay. Yeah. Mm, doing homework, creating resumes, or writing books on Microsoft Works. Oh my God. Look at it. Who had a Swiss colony gingerbread house at Christmas in the early 80s? Not me. I wasn't around in the early 80s, so. Oh my goodness. Can we bring back shows like Wishbone? Oh my God. Okay. Who watched Wishbone? Who loved Wishbone? Okay. I didn't just watch Wishbone. I looked forward to Wishbone. Who looked forward to Wishbone? Okay, raise your hand. Wishbone was the stuff. I loved when they would put costumes on Wishbone and they'd have him play these different figures with the actresses as they're like doing very abridged tellings of famous stories. And somehow it's related to whatever's going on in like the real world with Wishbone's boy, Josh. That was his name, right? Josh. I think it was. Anyway, he was less interesting. I wasn't into that bit. His real problems. I think his dad had died or something like that. That explains why there wasn't a dad around. And yeah, it's his little girlfriend or whatever. I don't know. Friend. And yeah, they would have guests on the show. Anyway, I'm going on about it. I like when he did the story of like Rip Van Winkle. That was pretty cute. They put the beard on him. The Tick. Okay, yeah, I watched The Tick. The Tick was cool. Peeling the foil off of gum wrappers. Okay, yeah, we've all done that. Yeah, Alex Mack. Oh, Jessica Alba on Alex Mack. I've never seen this. It does not ring any bells. Okay. Philip Banks, played by James Avery, surprises Carl Winslow, played by Reginald Bell Johnson. Oh my goodness. Remember the Titans. I never saw that. Alien Odyssey. Interesting. Found the old console and had to fire up one of my childhood favorites. Oh man. Get it? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm happy for him. Happy for them though. They look like they're having a good time. Being able to watch something for the first 10 minutes and then it turns into, yep, okay. "3D Space Cadet Pinball." Oh my goodness. Caller ID commercials. I saw you on the street the other day. Ooh, that's creepy. What the heck? Caller ID. Pee-wee's Playhouse. Okay. It's streaming on Tubi. I'm not familiar with Tubi. Okay. But all right. I love Pee-wee's Playhouse. Nostalgia time. Pete and Pete. Where the hell is Matt? I'm not familiar with this. That's not ringing any bells. Get closer to everything you love about country music only on Sirius XM. Oh, they got me to read their ad. Does anyone listen to XM radio anymore? I don't. I never did. Remember the Backdorn Boys and their oblivious roommate? No. Covering our school books with brown paper bags. I did this. It was exciting when I went to the store and got to ask for paper bags. I was like, oh, I'm going to ask for paper. We usually get plastic. Michael Jackson interview. Oh, Michael. Remember the controversy about the talking Poe doll? No. Okay. The Mega 1000. Andy Warhol and Debbie Harry, and he's doing some art on it. Okay, cool. McDonald's Space Jam toys. Oh my God, yes, let's see them. Oh, they're so cool. They have their platforms. I love it. Okay, which is my favorite? Yeah, I don't know. Probably Taz. Space Jam. Now that was a good album. Amiga Juggler demo, first ever home computer ray traced 3D animation from 1986. Okay. It's irritating. Interesting, isn't it? Well, that's enough of that. Squeeze it, Chucklin Cherry. Squeeze it. Oh, those look familiar. That time Ron Bell named scumbagged us to get with Inga. These pillow toys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, we've already seen the bug. Okay. Christopher Reeve and Michael Keaton in the same movie called Speechless, Superman and Batman. Oh, Michael Keaton and Gina Davis. There are two sides to every love story. Don't believe either one of them. Oh my. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yes. Great movie. Incredible movie. Jessica Rabbit, so inspirational. Dang, Bosco. Getting weird. Bosco getting weird in the comments. It's okay. I mean, okay. Yeah, I'm about to wrap up here, I think. Let me see. Let's just scroll a little bit longer. 5 more minutes. Soda in a carton. I never got soda in a carton. Gross. It looks gross. Looks wrong. 5 decades later, I still long for and crave the taste that was Nabisco's dip in a chip. Cheese and chive snack crackers. Okay. Oh, they do look like they might be good. Musclemen. Cute. Kid pics. Interesting. The Disney afternoon cartoons we watched after school. Yeah, there were some good ones. My childhood T6 Tonka bulldozer, heavily used but still works. That is rad. MS Paint really brings me back. Oh yeah, I love doing things on MS Paint. Horrible histories. Watching horrible histories in class because the teacher was going through a divorce and was too upset to teach. Oh my god, no. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my goodness. Reddit. Okay. I liked horrible histories. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. I mean, I didn't watch it in school though, so I don't know. Maybe I would feel different. 10,000 Days by Tool. Interesting. Okay. Alex Gray, he's cover art. Water balloon grenades. Yes. Okay. Candy cigarettes. I remember candy cigarettes. I felt so cool. Baywatch. Never watched Baywatch. It looks terrible, to be honest. Creepy freaks. Okay. Tiger Electronics handheld games. Which ones did you have? Oh my goodness. I'm not familiar with these. Maybe I missed out. At one point, Saturday Night Live had a sketch so popular it became a movie built on the joke of guess that character's gender. It's Pat. It's Pat. Yes, I remember It's Pat. Julia Sweeney. Yeah. Wouldn't fly today. Would not fly today, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know. Unfortunately. I'm sure it's difficult for the people who've been called Pat in their life. I know that some people have, and it hurt their feelings. So, but I thought it was a funny movie. I remember watching it. Franco-American brand. I'm not familiar with this. I guess it was part of Campbell's. Guess who? I never played that. Captain Crunch toys. Interesting. Oh yeah, using mechanical pencils like a syringe. Yeah. Why did they have to call us out like that? Okay, who did that? I did that. I definitely did that. Okay. Chilies, not chilies. A firefighter set. Cute. The magic school bus. Those are cool. Ice skating shoes. I skated a few times. Never got really into it. Bit difficult. Bit difficult for me. Pogs. Interesting. I had too many pogs. I don't even remember the purpose of them. I remember like playing a game, but I don't remember how the game went or what was, the point of it. But I remember having this big, like, probably like a tin, like cookie jar thing or maybe a candy thing. It was like a big one full of pogs. And like after pogs, like it was like cool for a while and then it just faded out. So I don't know. What was the deal with pogs? I mean, some of them are cool looking. I don't know. It just doesn't. Just one of those weird things. Oh my goodness, orange VHS tapes. Okay, yes. I feel like I had like Nickelodeon, I had like one of their movies. Maybe Good Burger. I feel like it was on an orange VHS tape, and there were like others. But yeah, orange would be Mr. Phipps Tater Crispers. Sour cream and onion with less fat than potato chips. They are baked, not fried. Never tried these, but they look good. Discovery Zone. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we had a Discovery Zone. I did play there. I had some fun. Ghost Rider. Oh my goodness. Yes, Ghost Rider. This kid's name was Lenny. Oh goodness. Pop and shoot camera, play school. Interesting. Alligator toothbrushes from the dentist. How sweet. Pet Cemetery, Zelda, 1989. Pet Cemetery was, Power Rangers toys.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
Aristocat.
Because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
Chocolate Soldier, far better than Yoo-Hoo. Better than Yoo-Hoo? Oh my goodness, that's quite a statement. The And Then lady from Dude, Where's My Car? I don't remember. I remember going to see this in theaters actually, and I puked. It was not good. James and the Giant Peach. Okay. Supersize soft drinks brought to you by Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Would they be supersized by today's standards? They're collector's cups. Oh yeah, they would periodically do these collector's cups. Ugh. And people collected them. I don't know why. But they do it today too. Okay. There was a Chuck E. Cheese movie, Chuck E. Cheese in the Galaxy 5000. I have never heard of this. I don't think I want to watch it either. No. Liquid ice. The mints are remembered for their intense and bitter taste. Enough complaints were received that the product was discontinued only 1 year later. Oh, that's too bad. Dear days at school, drop everything and read. Oh yeah, I remember that. I think we did that. Okay, what toy store brings back memories from you? KB Toys or Toys R Us? Toys R Us, I think I had more familiarity with. Yeah. Jenko shorts. I didn't know that Jenko made shorts. Wow. The Jenkos. I remember when those went out of fashion and skinny jeans came in, and the hate was harsh. The hate was harsh. Well, anyway, it's been lovely this evening going through Reddit and finding the nostalgia page after, starting off kind of in rough terrain. It was an emotional roller coaster, but we're off and we're going to, I guess, regain our composure for another time. So yeah, thanks for being here, everybody. What a night. I'll see you another time, okay? Bosco doesn't want it to end. That's sweet. That's sweet. But yeah, it's gonna end. I need to go. I have to retire. I have to put myself to bed and such and undo all that I've done up for today. So it is time. Farewell, y'all. Have a good night. I'll be back another time.